Hi all, in this video we will learn TCP connection oriented protocol, mainly the segment structure of the TCP segment. As we know, TCP is a connection oriented protocol and it is having its own specialities, and just an overview of the main things are integrated into this slide. A TCP connection is a point-to-point connection, that is there will be one sender and one receiver, and it is reliable and in order delivery, and it is a pipelined protocol, or it is providing reliability by using a pipelined concept. And TCP is providing congestion control and flow control by setting the window size. TCP provides full duplex connectivity between the sender and the receiver, that is bidirectional data flow from sender to receiver. And the maximum amount of data that can be placed in a segment is limited to MSS. MSS means maximum segment size. This is the size of the data that can be placed in a TCP segment. And it is providing connection oriented service, that means it is enabling a handshaking between the sender and the receiver before the communication begins, and the flow control is implemented so that the sender will not overwhelm the receiver. Here this is the segment structure of the TCP. We have learned the UDP segment structure also. You should remember which are the fields associated with UDP segment structure and the TCP segment structure. The first two fields, source port address and destination port address, this is available in UDP segment structure also. The purpose of this source port address and destination port address is for using in multiplexing and demultiplexing. The next is a sequence number and next is acknowledgement number. Sequence number is to identify the packets unique numbers. And the acknowledgement number is also associated with the sequence number. The acknowledgement number always given for a respective sequence number, that is, if a sequence number n is received at the receiver, then the acknowledgement number n will be returned by the receiver. So these two are 32-bit sequence numbers, and in previous RDTs we studied sequence numbers are only 0 and 1, again it is 0 and 1 alternatively, but here it is not like that. It is a continuous incremental number, and the number of bits will be there to represent the sequence numbers also, that we will learn in the coming slide. Then header length is a 4-bit number. Out of the 32-bit, only 4 bits are used to represent the length of the header. The entire segment includes, up to here it is a length of the header plus the remaining portion. This much portion is for data or payload. Entire thing form the segment. So up to here it is a header, and the header length is varying because of this portion, that is, here it is an optional variable length data header is associated. So this will specified in the header length field. The length of the header will be mentioned here. In UDP, the header length was fixed, that is 8 bytes length it was. There it won't be varying, but here the TCP segment, the length of the header will vary, that is why it is stored in a particular field. And some flags are here, U, A, P, R, S, F. These are the flags, and all these flags will be explained in the coming slide. The next is the receiver window. Receiver window is a 16-bit field, that is to flow control, that is how much bytes of data or what number of data bytes can be received by the receiver. The size of the receiver is specified. The capacity of the receiver is specified in this window, and in this rate only the sender will also send the data, so that the sender won't overwhelm the receiver. That is the advantage of the size of the receiver window. And next is checksum. The purpose of the checksum is similar to that of in UDP. It is not mentioned here, but you know that what is the purpose of the checksum, and we studied it in detail in the UDP. The same thing should be repeated here also. Then there is an urgent pointer, urgent data pointer. This will be explained in the coming slide. And there is an options field, and it is used when the sender and the receiver negotiate the maximum segment size. The maximum segment size is varying, that depends on the capacity of the receiver, and it is negotiated by the sender so that it can send at a particular segment size. So the capacity of the processing capacity of the receiver, it depends upon the processing capacity of the receiver. Then internet checksum, this we covered in the UDP. It is similar to that of the one in the UDP itself. Then the flags are explained here. URG, it is urgent data, and generally it is not used because most of the packets are normal packets. If some packets are urgent packets, or if it is mentioned as urgent from the application layer, it will be considered as urgent packets. Such packets will be having a flag value 1 here. All the flags will take value 1 or 0. If it is 1 means the current segment is an urgent segment, or current data stored in this particular segment and the subsequent segments will be specified here in the URG data pointer up to this much portion, this much number of sequence numbers, this much packets will be urgent packets. This flag is valid when we can listen here, the urgent pointer, the location of the last byte of the urgent data, the urgent data pointer, it is expression of this field, urgent data pointer. This pointer will store an address of a location of the last byte of the urgent data. This is a flag here only. If this is 1, then only the data pointer is having a valid data. Only valid if URG flag is set. The last line only valid, that is urgent pointer contains a address, and that address is valid only when this URG flag bit is 1. And the content of the URG data pointer is, it is specifying the location of the last byte of the urgent data, that is current segment onwards up to a particular sequence number. Up to that number, every packets are urgent. That is the meaning of this urgent data pointer. The following bytes contain an urgent message in the range of sequence numbers less than or equal to urgent message less than or equal to sequence number plus urgent pointer. That is, the urgent message is in between the sequence number specified in this current acknowledgement, current packet or current sequence number. This is sequence number of the current packet. From this sequence number up to sequence number plus the last byte is located at the urgent pointer. Then this urgent pointer plus sequence number plus urgent pointer up to this location, all the sequence numbers, all the packets are urgent packets. That is the meaning of urgent pointer. This will have a valid value only when this flag is having 1 value. Then A stands for the acknowledgement is valid or not. That is, this is again a flag value. If this is 1 means the content in the acknowledgement number is valid, because not all segments have the acknowledgement number. Some initial packets, there won't be any acknowledgement number in the field, so that time this will be 0. If the acknowledgement number field is valid, then this bit will be 1. Then P stands for push. Push bit indicates that the receiver should pass the data to the upper layer immediately. Push the data content of this segment to the upper layer immediately. That is the meaning of P bit. R, S and F, last 3, R, S and F, RST, sync and fin. These 3 are used for the connection establishment. That is handshaking. RST for reset connection, SYN for synchronize the sequence numbers, FIN for finished with sending. RST, the flag causes the receiver to reset the connection. If RST bit is 1 means upon receiving this particular segment, the receiver thinks that the connection establishment must be reset, or if a new connection has to be established. So receiver of RST terminates the connection and indicates a higher layer about the application reset. Then sync is a synchronization bit and send the first packet when initiating the connection. So sync is the first bit used for the synchronization or the handshaking. At the time of handshaking, sync is the first bit sent by the sender to the receiver to the sender. In case of TCP, there will be a receiver and there will be a sender. Sender is always on and the receiver is the one who initiates the connection. That's why sync is sent by the receiver first. Then fin means when the connection is finished or the communication is finished, the fin bit is set by the sender. That means it is finished sending the data and you can close the connection. So both sides of the connection must send a fin so that it will end up with the end of the communication. Then options, variable length, and these are some additional information that is added by the sender or by the receiver. Here the segment structure is common for both the sender and the receiver. So in case of UDP also the sender and the receiver use the same segment structures. So the content inside the options field will be some additional information if some kind of negotiation or flow regulation or some sort of communication has to be done between the sender and the receiver. It will set the value according to the communication here. So the length of the header will vary. So this is a portion of the header. This 20 bytes of header, actually this is the minimum size of the header, 20 or more. 20 bytes is the minimum size of the header. That's why we are storing the length of the header here. Normally it will be 20, and if any data is there in the optional part, then the length will increase. So this much portion, 20 bytes of data, is explained in detail in the previous 2 slides. The remaining things are the data part, and this is the header attached by the upper layer.